Welcome to Transatlantic Wrestling Talk. I'm your host, Andy. Joined with me co-host as always, Dale. How we doing, brother?
Hey, Andy. Good morning. How are you today? We ventured into this wonderful realm a few weeks ago when we were going into WrestleManias, and we went into the iconic Bret versus Steve Austin match. It was about, what did it say? WrestleMania 13, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
WrestleMania 13, the I Quit match where Austin never gave up. We figured, hey, you know what? Let's just pick a random pay-per-view, and you said Revenge of the Taker. And I said, what the hell was that? And I actually looked it up afterwards. I said, and I try not to look it up. I'd rather watch the matches as they go and then figure it out. But, I kind of had to take a sneak peek because I don't remember when this happened. And it was shortly after that I Quit match. I believe it was the next pay-per-view over, or maybe two afterwards.
It was the next one over because obviously, as we always do, mate, we try and keep a very timeline constraint with the time of year. Yep. And obviously, we've just finished WrestleMania season, and this was the first one that I've pulled out for post-Mania. So we're going to get a lot of these shows post-Manias where we'll probably see a few rematches from WrestleManias as we go through the month.
Yeah, definitely. And, now it's at this point where the theme, I don't really remember a theme where it ever said Revenge of the Taker. This might have been the first pay-per-view that actually could have been named after a superstar, if you think about it, besides, SmackDown becoming, the Rock show and all that. But usually you would have poster boys for these main events, but you never really went out and just named a pay-per-view after them. So in this case, Revenge of the Taker.
But the thing was, at this specific time, he was naming all the pay-per-views, wasn't he? Beware of the Dog, Revenge of the Taker, D-Generation X. There was a lot of these type of Canadian Stampede. There was a lot of these type of pay-per-views, wasn't there, at that specific at this time?
Right, but nothing like in particular, like, this isn't like In Your House, Mabel's Conquest.
Yeah,
that would have sold. But I do believe that this might have been the first time that they ever named a pay-per-view just blatantly after a superstar here. Although I would have loved to have seen Simon Dean's Stampede. That would have been a good one. I think that would have sold a lot of t-shirts at least. Yeah. So, and before we go into it, 420 happened, which was also my father's birthday. So happy birthday, Dad. But one other thing, RK Bro came out with a fantastic t-shirt the other day for the RK Bro. 420, I just smoked your ass. It was a one-day release, and man, I kind of regret not buying 5 and then selling like 4 of them.
I would have got one. I didn't even know they were going. I love me RK Bro.
Surprised, it's special when Randy Orton pushes a shirt online.
Just a little bit of it. This is the first time we've done it in your house, isn't it? So, let's give you a little bit of questions time. Okay. What was Revenge of the Taker? What in your house was that?
13?
Ooh, 14.
Okay.
1 out. Okay.
All right.
How many in your house pay-per-views was there before they finished?
NXT just had a couple. They were good too.
Take away the NXT ones, the one where the original run finished.
I'm gonna guess 23.
27.
Wow.
And also, let's have a look. What was the last ever in your house before they finished? What was it called?
Something tells me it was iconic, wasn't
it? Yes and no. There was a big debut on it, but
no, that wouldn't happen.
It was a bit flat.
Do
you want me to give you the match?
Was it Kurt Angle? Was it Kurt Angle?
Oh, no, well before Kurt Angle. So the main event was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon in a steel cage for a WWF title match.
Valentine's Day Massacre.
There you go. That was the last ever in your house.
Wow, that's cool. Okay, so that was February then. And that was a debut of, well, it's the big show.
That's what I said. There was a debut, but the whole thing wasn't really the whole pay-per-view wasn't up to much, was it? Let's face it. But
hey, we got a little bit of long-term storytelling for you and I, though, because 6 months ago when we were doing the Survivor Series, you said you were going to tell Big Show to come over and kick my ass. I'm still waiting for that phone call.
Oh God, I don't think I can afford them at the moment.
It's all good. It's all good.
So they had that WrestleCon for the Love of Wrestling here yesterday. It's yesterday and today. Obviously, current situation, family-wise, I couldn't go. But Bray Wyatt apparently was charging £65 for a selfie yesterday. Crazy, isn't
it? I told you I saw the Ultimate Warrior. He was charging crazy amounts of money for his paraphernalia. But you know what?
From everybody who was talking to yesterday, MJF was the star of the show.
Because he was, and he actually said some things blatant that I'm sure Tony Khan didn't like.
All his pictures were apparently people standing there smiling with him standing there like that next to him. And there was a video where he's signing something, and then throws the pen on the floor, and the kid goes over to get it, but apparently the kid got upset and he gets up and goes, "Oh no, and gives him a hug and stuff. But he said apparently that was the only time during the whole day he broke character. The whole time he was there, he did not break character once, apart from where he took it a bit. Well, he took it too far, but the kid just got a bit upset.
My man MJF is putting a good name and a good stamp on Long Island.
Oh, not off. Well, anyway, let's get back to 1997 then, shall we?
I wish. And I had a Tamagotchi then.
I can tell. Same here. What else did I have back then? Oh, God.
A lot of these action figures. All right.
Yeah. I think action figure wise, though, was poor, wasn't it? 97, 98.
And they were kind of
the BCAAs, the Bone Crunchings. Some of them were all right. Some of them were a bit.
Yeah, they've made a comeback now, and I'm just like, I didn't like them back then. I won't like them now.
No.
So
right, okay.
We're starting off.
Yeah.
Do you see the dark match here? No. Do you see the dark match of the Sultan versus Flash Funk?
No, I specifically didn't watch that match, and I didn't watch the two dark matches at the end either. I just stuck with the pay-per-view. Legion of Doom versus Owen Hart and Bulldog. I like this match. It is a good, solid opening. Legion of Doom actually looked well here. I think it probably potentially wasn't long after this when they started going over the cliff,
And they were still, we talk about the Road Warrior pop, and I see it. We do a lot of these pay-per-views where they're just there and they're kind of floating in infamy. We had a lot of cool, how do you put it? Tropes as far as the, stipulations of, is he the legal man? And, we have guys that want to get counted out, but, if they don't come back in the ring because they decided, hey, we got counted out, so we'll just walk away and not have the match restart. I like that stuff, and it seemingly still puts over the fact that you have heel tag team of Davey Boy and Owen that still heels that still deserve to be tag team title holders. And then you have Legion of Doom there looking strong. Let's face it, they look strong in this as well. And what I liked about it is that, there was an impressive move here. I think Animal was just exactly that. And just seeing him and I'm not going to say they had chemistry, but him and Davey Boy really looked like they wanted to give it a go. And they've known each other for how long at that point? At least 10 years, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing as well is Animal. I still love Animal's hot tags. Were just awesome, weren't they? They always was throughout the whole of the Legion of Doom. I didn't think he got as much props as what he should have done for them. That the hot tag in, scoop slam, running power slam. He was awesome, wasn't he? But one thing I did want to mention on this is I seen was how comfortable Davey Boy looked with Owen in a tag team.
Yeah.
And the whole kind of format of how they wrestled here reminded me a lot of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you know what? Owen could part of that is just, how we feel about Owen. I think everybody that watched knows how we feel about Owen. The guy was just amazing. And he had chemistry with anybody. Him and Davey Boy, him and Yoko, him and his brother, him and his other brothers when they wanted to wrestle. He was just a naturally charismatic in and out of the ring, if that matters. You know what I mean? Like it's just, he was a talent like no other, and we have
Yeah.
an appreciation. You talked about it when we were talking about Razor Ramon passing. Enjoy the people that are here now.
Yeah,
You just
yeah,
never know.
100%.
But this guy's brilliant, brilliant, and
Yeah.
we still are still one of my favorite reviews was still with WrestleMania 10, him and Brett. You can't.
Oh, yeah. Well, in this one, the Legion of Doom get the win by disqualification. Do you know what? Even though I remember this match at the part, I was second guessing myself where Owen and Bulldog got the win by pinfall, and then they made the match restart.
Yeah,
and I thought, LOD didn't win this one, did he? Because when you see that restart, you'd always think there's going to be a change of title, don't you? And I like this. I like this whole way. Even so many years later, it surprised me again.
Because I don't remember seeing this again. Do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the first time. Yeah,
but I don't remember seeing this type of finish to a match.
No.
And didn't Brett come out and just say, "Hey, fuck this"?
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Really cool opener. It's just a really good opener, and that's why they say the most important matches on cards are the first and the last match. And this match set a good tone, but it didn't really foil over into the next match, did it?
The Nation of Domination. Savio Vega with the Nation defeated Rocky Maivia by count out. This was a poor version of the Nation. That's the first note I've put here. But obviously it would go on to be what it was in the end. Another note I've got here is: have you ever seen the film Friday?
Come on.
Yeah. Have you seen that fella? Please stay off my grass.
Yes.
Yeah. How much did D'Lo Brown look like him in this?
Fellas, I will ask you nicely.
Yes. D'Lo Brown in the suit, and I just looked the spit of him at this point.
And Clarence Mason was the midget across the way.
Yeah. And how bad did Crush look?
I'm telling you, we how many pay-per-views have we talked about Crush? And he's just like, you ever see that T-shirt of the incarnations of Joker throughout the years?
Yeah.
And it's very cool because it shows like also the cartoon that's been over the past some odd years, and Cesar Romero's character in the cartoon in the comic books. They could do this with Crush.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we should do that shirt, Andy. Oh my God. Oh, I'm writing that down, dude. I'm
write it down.
I don't understand. Like, this is how we market it. We just have the incarnation of Crushes, just his head and just the hair. We're in the money. We're in the money.
No, it was sad though to see him at this point.
Because he was just floating around, and then he'll find a motorcycle. But you could really tell that nobody cared about The Rock, and it didn't. Rock did a promo before here, and it sounded like The Rock didn't even care about The Rock.
No. But the thing is, though, mate, it shows you, doesn't it? Right? And it made me think about this last night about The Rock. This is obviously at the point where they're trying to throw The Rock down people's throats instead of letting him be himself. Austin with the ringmaster didn't work. Even you look at John Cena, they were ready to release John Cena until he'd done the Rock thing, and then they went, "Oh yeah, we're on to something." And then obviously look what he's gone on to have. A modern day, who would you think would be the Rock of this? Who do you think at the moment is somebody that he shouldn't be, and they need to be let to be themselves?
Not Wheeler Yuta.
No.
Can you imagine if they did that push that they did for Wheeler Yuta to their actual champion?
Who would you say though at the moment?
Who would I say
is kind of getting pushed? But Austin Theory, maybe. No,
Theory's already got that rocket straight to his ass, and that's Vince McMahon. I will say this: do I see people doing a kind of Rock type push like that? No, nowadays, no. Because it'll come off as insincere. Do I see certain people like a Sammy Guevara doing something like a Shane Douglas type thing?
Interesting.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Obviously we're talking way different eras here, 30 years later. But have Sammy embrace the fact that he's a slappable piece of crap heel.
Yeah.
And denounce the fact that he hates this title, but he doesn't want to give it up because that means he loses.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did I just create a better character than what they really did?
Mm-hmm. Tell you what makes me laugh here as well is when they use Ahmed Johnson. It's like they're still trying to get a bit of. I reckon at this point they thought give Rocky a bit of Ahmed sprinkle.
Yeah, give him the Ahmed rub. And if they rub Ahmed too much, so a lot of that oil is going to come off.
Have you seen the way at the moment he's been posting a load of pictures of himself with guns recently?
Ahmed?
I don't know why,
but I think I might have to. I don't know. Look, we you know what though? I will say this, and we just visited Lancaster the past few days, and I will say this: the country right now is so like if we wear a mask, because I'm not going to get too into it, but like just for our son's sake, he's not vaccinated. He doesn't have all his immunities. So what if we pass him on? Fine, but it's more of a Confederate type feel where we were. So people had upside down American flags, Confederate flags still hanging. I'm serious. This is the state of how it is. And this is one state away, Andy. This is in Pennsylvania, and yeah, but this is the state. And maybe Ahmed Johnson, just wants to be just wants to promote his guns. Nothing wrong with that.
That's what he wants to do then, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Oh, your gun law is a little bit stricter?
You're not allowed guns over here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's like did you get them, but it's very, very rare you'll see people with many guns. They're like you've got to have like a lockbox in the house where you keep one gun and then it's over here. But if anybody's even got a drink driving conviction, you won't get one.
Yeah.
And you've got to be a member of a gun club, and you can only fire it at the gun club. You couldn't like go and fire it in your back garden or anything like that.
The gun club's a good tag team right now. But I got a question though. Who's going to inspect you if you don't get that?
Please come round and check it once a month.
Really? Once a month they actually come to houses? Yeah. Oh man. Down in Cobb County, Georgia.
Yeah, wait there. Let me open this.
I hope Ahmed has his earrings in these pictures too.
I'm actually going to share my screen here.
All right. Folks, this is a first. We're sharing a screen here, but I think this is an internet first where people are sharing a screen to show a picture of Ahmed Johnson. What is on his chin? Is that like one of those like quarter machine guys that grapple on and hold the sticky guys that hold on with their fists? What is on his chin? Oh, that's his figure.
Yeah.
That's his jack.
That's his figure, yeah.
Is he sleeping?
I do not know what he is doing, pal.
And that's the old IC title.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's the one he won.
I think it is, yeah.
No, I don't think it looked like that. Look, because it doesn't even have the F in there.
Oh no, that's probably just one someone's given him, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, they weren't giving him anything. Look, in this match, when he came out with the 2x4, his obsession with the 2x4 was just nasty. But like, here's what I don't understand. If you could hear the visceral hate that the crowd, and not only the crowd, but also Jim Ross, not Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, and Vince McMahon had for him at this time. Like, how do they keep inserting him? They literally had just they literally were just like, hey, you know what? Let's just throw him in there. Let's see if we give him the rock rub. It did not work out well, man. The match was pretty poor, by the way. The only one thing that was cool that happened was that they had a house show lead into something here with it. Because the good thing was that they had something that happened at a house show actually lead into it, saying that Savio beat The Rock while The Rock was a champion at the time. And, it was at a house show. So it kind of led into this whole thing. Man, Ahmed's just so off-putting. He just,
Oh, I'm trying to stop sharing. Am I still sharing the screen?
Unfortunately, I don't want to keep seeing the guy.
No, I need to figure out how to turn it off now. See, this is why we don't do stuff like this, guys. But
Yeah. So anyway, it was just it wasn't a good match. Savio Vega here was just really poor.
No.
I mean, because he would go into Los Boricuas, and this was actually going into the defection of the Nation of Domination. You kind of split this off into several different brands. But fellas, can you please stay off my lawn? I've asked you once. Andy, we still got him up here, man.
I know. I'm trying to get him off. I don't know what I'm doing here. How do I get him off? There we go. That'll do. But I don't know how to stop sharing. Oh God, how do I do this? Right, it doesn't matter anyway. Let's just keep on going for now till I figure out how to stop this.
Sure. Next match we got here, my friend, is this is great. Next match we have here is a very iconic match, and it's very funny when you think about it. Okay, so the rockabilly was somehow this aspect that we needed to have, that Honky Tonk Man actually needed to have here. Okay, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna hire a guy. So he ends up getting Billy Gunn. And who does Billy Gunn end up facing? The real Double J.
Yeah, a rockabilly man.
The real Double J, Jesse James. And he came out singing With My Baby Tonight, which actually wasn't a bad tune.
No, it wasn't a bad tune at all. And it was, I remember when they first come out that it was the Road Dogg and not thingy. I was even shocked. I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I was such a mark when I was a kid, honest to God, such a mark.
Well, I think we expected better for ourselves, because you got to realize something. Okay, what time did your school start in the morning?
9 a.m.
That's pretty late, actually. But at this point, you still wanted to go to bed. Sundays, you're just like, oh, like you didn't want to be disappointed. From a booking aspect, you kind of understood it, because Bart Gunn, I guess, was injured or on the shelf at that point and really didn't have much. You had the Smoking Guns that ended up splitting up because of Sonny, who was on this pay-per-view, and we'll get to that in a second. It's just such a wonderful way.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets host. You basically have, 1 second, off the cuff here. View options up top.
View options, yeah.
Click that. Should be a stop sharing.
Oh no, it's not showing me. And don't worry, carry on. I'll figure it out.
All right. So basically, you have Rockabilly here, and it's a nice little back and forth. They actually know how to wrestle pretty well. But you kind of have Billy Gunn doing the old shticks of the pointing to the back and stuff from the Honky Tonk Man. So that was pretty fun to watch. Overall, though, I did like the fact that it's kind of storytelling, because they were going to hit Road Dogg. Jesse James with a guitar at that point. And is it really the most buzzworthy matchup? No, this was definitely something that could have been on Raw. It was teased by Honky Tonk Man, but it didn't really have to be here, did it?
No. I do you know what, the honky tonk in this one just wasn't. I mean, I suppose it gives you the cheap pop and stuff like that, but I wasn't too happy with him being there.
Yeah. I
didn't see the point in him being there.
Did you like the Honky Tonk Man?
No, I liked his music, but that was about it.
He did
him as a person. Thought he was a douche.
No, he's Jerry Lawler's cousin.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he had long sideburns and his hair slicked back, and he came to your town in a pink Cadillac. Was he at the fair yesterday for you guys?
No, he was there last year, I believe. But
and you wanted to punch him in the face then?
Yeah. He was there last. No, actually, he didn't even come last year. He was meant to come last year, and he didn't come in the end. For whatever reason, I do not know. I think it was something to do with the Hall of Fame or something in 2019. But do you know what? I was only, how old was it? Was only last year I found out that Sherry was Peggy Sue.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
And you know who drove that car?
Go on.
Diamond Dallas Page.
He did. He really did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God,
I love this full circle stuff, don't you?
I know.
Look,
I love all that.
I'll tell you what, man. So we finally get to the headline of this show. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And we get, what did we say the timing was? 1 hour, 48 minutes?
Yes, all together
Okay.
on this pay-per-view.
Yeah. And I think that's a sweet spot, man. I think Raw should be that right now. It was just awesome because I'll tell you why. The next match here, we talk about long-term storytelling, and in retrospect, it's a lot easier to look at stuff from 50 feet above after the fact, 25 years later. But this is the start to one of the greatest characters ever coming out right now. This is the start to it. Okay. We have Undertaker versus Mankind. Paul Bear's in Mankind's corner. There's a lot going on here. Mankind just says, you know what, this is going to be, I guess it was no holds barred, right?
Yeah.
Andy, these guys came out swinging, didn't they?
Do you know what? It was brilliant from start to finish. I really enjoyed this match. And I really enjoyed the fact that like Mick Foley just brought something so different to Taker, you know, which again, to be honest, I was even thinking in my head here, like I was a bit upset at the fact that once again, he didn't mention him in the Hall of Fame speech. Because when you see like these two here, they had magic, didn't they?
Yeah. No, I mean, they always did, you know, but like I said, I don't need to hear it from somebody's wife or daughter, you know. Oh, I'm just upset. I'm so upset. Like, whatever, you know. The problem is that they have a microphone and these marks. There is. There
I still can't get rid of this one. It's doing me, hasn't it? It just won't let me.
Go to the top banner. It says you are viewing Andy Donnelly's screen.
Yeah. Can you not do that? No, because it won't let me do it.
What about view options?
It's not even giving me that.
I have share screen, but I'm not getting host disabled participants screen sharing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
View options up top. Do you see anything?
Nope.
And you are viewing. Boy, this is fun. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, doesn't matter. You can still hear us. That's all that matters.
Yep, that's all right. We'll get the technicalities. We'll dust off the cobwebs next week, folks. All right. So, but anyway, talking about this match here, Andy, what did you think as far as ring psychology goes?
Just the best. That was Mick Foley inside out. Mick Foley was never the best athlete, or anything like that, but his in-ring psychology was some of the best.
Yep. Yeah, I fully agree with that, man. I mean, just watching here, and they actually showed how Taker was busted open here. You know, just a lot of tough bumps. And you got to realize this is the first time somebody manhandled the Undertaker like this without any BS, really. I mean, yes, Yokozuna had his way with him, and then Mabel totally messed up on him. But do you remember anybody really putting it to Undertaker at this point in time?
No. This was like the first one that really went at him, wasn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just pretty awesome to watch because, you know, Taker was selling, and Taker knows how to sell when he wants to. He didn't do it much, and he didn't have to do it much because that wasn't his character. You know, dead mortician, you know, invincible. But I gotta say, man, just you had empathy for when even Mankind took bumps. Only because I'm watching it and you could tell that people knew he was Cactus Jack, but they didn't care. You knew that this was the guy that they seen before, but man, did they hate him because he was a psychopath. He'll even tell you. And one time we probably will go into this, but with Mind Games, I think that's a pay-per-view that we probably have to watch. They even said that with Mind Games, you know, even though they filmed it in Philadelphia, which led to a few other things that happened that night, Mick had to come out and say, I had to cut a promo hating people just to get people to not like me because of what he's done in the past. And this is what happened here. You know, and I think the thing I love about this match is like, yeah, there's a little bullshit at the end with the the flash paper, you know, which was pretty fun to watch because you didn't know what was going on. You thought somebody was messing up, but it ended up working out pretty well because Undertaker was threatening Paul Bear with it after the match.
Mm.
You know, and the Flash went off, and it looked better than Warrior Hogan, right?
Warrior Hogan was a different type of thing, though, wasn't it?
I'm talking about the Flash paper, though.
Yeah.
At Halloween Havoc. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Oh, God, that was just another different thing, though, wasn't it? With that, you know what, mate? I think with that, because the way that Warrior speaks and he goes on so much is, I don't think like it'd ever change. No matter what you've done there, if they got it as right as Mankind, because let's face it, Mankind Undertaker was different. They just nailed it as they always did. But with Warrior, because of the way that he chats so much palaver, it's like, in my eyes, it's never going to work. Does that make sense?
As far as like Flash paper goes?
Yeah. It's like, no matter what they tried to do, it was never going to work anyway.
Yeah, because there's no concept in his story because he was just insane. It was rambling. It was incoherent rambling too. I don't know, man. Like, to me, I thought it was perfect. And there was the other good thing was that the announcers actually had legit concern on here for Paul Bearer because they're like, oh my God, his face is burnt. Oh my God, I can't believe he's, you know, still like, you know, he's going to be taken to a medical facility. He's crying. Great storytelling here, because what did this lead to afterwards, Andy?
It leads to the oh God. Was the boiler room after this, was it? This one?
I'm talking about later on.
Oh, in the same event, you mean?
Well, like later as far as what this means, the burning of Paul Bear's face.
Kane. Gotta be Kane.
Yep. This is why we say from 50 feet above, you look at this stuff 25 years later and you're just like, man, that's who started creating this stuff. Because I don't even think fake Diesel was around then.
No.
So look, there was some cool stuff going on here. And the fact that there was legit concern and Mankind had the mask off, that's how you know they went at it for a go. Because Mankind took off the mask during the match and was just like, hey, I'm getting beaten and battered. This was a cool match to watch. I am really surprised at the fact that I forgot about this. This took place.
Wasn't long enough before that. Well, how long was it before well, it wasn't long before the Kane thing, was it? Do you know what I mean?
No, because then you would have to have Taker lose the title at some point to Shawn. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then Bad Blood would happen. Great match in itself.
Mm-hmm. But was it not that Taker lost the belt at Bad Blood?
He may have. I don't know. Which would make sense.
I remember that, yeah.
Which would also make sense, though, because it's like, all right, you know, him and Shawn are fighting each other. We'll probably review it. You know, it's in a couple of months anyway, I think. But a couple months from now. But I love it. Backstage, you also would see that Paul Bear would be taken off. And he would say something like getting revenge or whatever, like, oh, my face, in that Percy Pringle voice.
He looked proper scary, Percy, though, as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't look much.
Yeah. My favorite picture is him and the Undertaker and Yokozuna, like somebody turned a light on, you know, in the back, and Paul Bear's giving Yokozuna a titty twister.
I love Percy. I thought, do you know what? I don't think, and it might be a bold statement, I don't think that he would be. Oh yeah, there we go. Found it. There we go. We're back in business. I don't think
Andy.
Undertaker would have been the same if it wasn't for Percy. Just wouldn't have been.
No, you'd have brother love.
Yeah. And do you know what's scary about this one, mate? And it shows you. Well, not scary, sorry, but it's just a good point to make is this match was not the main event.
No, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Wasn't that fan?
It was, but it shows you, doesn't it? that we're getting into that kind of format now of where the main event the title doesn't have to be the main event.
Because they learned that from WrestleMania.
Yep.
When Undertaker fought Psycho Sid, they realized that, oh shoot, maybe I should put these two guys on later. And boy, did we get another hell of a match here.
Oh, mate. And do you know what? Even from the start where Brett walks out and the referees come and stop Davey and Owen coming through, and you're like, yes, this is boss. Even from that point, straight away, you're like, they made it feel important, didn't they? And it was like, Brett, no, you're going to have to go and do this on your own. And
yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than seeing Bret Hart be a full-fledged heel.
Yeah.
He's like, let's reunite the family. Neidhart will get involved, or Natty's dad will come in. And he'll come in later on, but then you also have Pillman too. Pillman was also in the back doing phone call conversations with Sonny at this point during the and it was so funny because the hotline's in the back. I think I'll probably put that for the thumbnail. But you're gonna have full-fledged Bret now. And the crowd's getting hotter for Austin now.
And he's actually got the Stone Cold music now as well, hasn't he? And
yeah, it's just legit awesomeness here.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, by the way, the whole theme that we have here is there was a backstage segment with Mark Marrow and the walking pair of boobs known as Sable.
Yeah.
With no brain or talent. And they're getting interviewed in the back by, I think, Hendricks or Kevin Kelly. And you see Austin.
Hendricks,
yeah, and you see Austin go to the bathroom, and behind them is Bret and Owen. I'm sorry, David Boy and Owen. That's cool.
Yeah.
And once again, episodic TV stuff will still continue to keep going even during pay-per-views.
And do you know what I loved about that, right, is the authentic feel to it. So where he's interviewing Mark Meadow, and halfway through the interview just goes to pop because they can go, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? It had that such like, it didn't feel set up or not, and it kind of felt like, what's going on here then? Do you know what I mean?
Intrigue. That's all you need is intrigue. And they definitely got that with this. And it's just the little things. It's not somebody standing in front of a camera. It's not all of a sudden Jade Cargill has all these fans that she was fighting with, and now she, I saw that the other day. I'm like, these guys, not going to say they're going to go out of business because that's stupid, especially when somebody has so much bankroll. But if they're not committed to telling me a story that makes sense or showing me pieces of it, why bother? And let's just also put it out there. Why are you carrying Wardlow in handcuffs? God forbid you have him break the handcuffs. It's, who gets in their own way? They do, because it just...
loads of crap. Well, right. And then we get the finish. What did you think of the finish in this match?
I don't understand why people could sit back and say at this point, the better programming is on WCW.
Yeah.
You had the NWO.
Yeah.
Right? You had the NWO, and that was great. And everything was just, they made you tune in constantly. But man, I'm telling you, it's just... classic, and just the fact that they kept working the knee on here, and people pulling them off, and you just saw how much of a raving lunatic Steve was. It was just so good, man.
So good, mate. And I love the way he was just latching on the sharpshooter, won't let go. And as you say, you don't always need to win to get over, and this is a prime example again.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll put it out there as just a spectrum of us doing these reviews. This goes up there and just a surprise to me. I mean, to me, up there, I still won't forget the Armageddon 99 one that we did, because I think that had a huge amount of momentum that was built from there for storylines and, but this also was just like, oh my God, first of all, this is kind of initiating the birth plan of Kane. You are then showing just such a switch in the demographic as far as getting attitude in there.
You see an Austin star coming through.
Come on. And then you're seeing how people are really starting to hate Rocky too.
Yeah. Which then obviously leads to something awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's little things in there. Like I said, just looking at it in 25 years, it's a lot funner to watch because you can pick up these pieces.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this, man. This was a good one, dude. This was a good pick.
Yeah, it really was. Well, right, what were you going to give it out of 5 then? Oh no, we go 10 because we're not dickheads like Milter.
Yes, I'm gonna go 7.
Okay.
I'll tell you why I'm gonna go 7. You saw how just any rabid attack like that, like that shows animosity, it deserves a few points from me.
Yeah,
because you don't have that raw emotion in there anymore. Where people, it's like, I'm gonna get to Brett and let me have the referees block everybody else from coming. Like Austin was just,
yeah.
he knew it.
I'm gonna go 6 on this one. I thought Austin and Thingy match was great. Legion of Doom versus Owen and Davey was good. Nation of Domination stuff was poor. Road Dogg versus Rockabye Billy. Yeah, not very much there.
Rockabye Billy. You wish you were saying goodbye.
Undertaker and Mankind, really, really good match again.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I'd say 6. I'm not going to say it's a poor pay-per-view. There was a couple of good matches dotted about, but apart from the last 2 matches, I feel like the card was a little bit too light on here.
Yeah, but part of the reason why I gave it a 7 is because of the time. The 1 hour, 48 minute sweet spot is just to the threshold where it's not too drowned out, man.
Oh yeah, I just feel like the Jesse James Rockabilly was just, that's where it probably done me head in a bit,
It's the New Age Outlaws, but older.
Yeah.
Older age Outlaws.
Well, that's, but then again, if you look at this significantly as well, Jesse James, Rockabye Billy, they go on to be the New Age Outlaws. We've got a really poor version of the Nation on this thing versus a Rocky Maivia who would become part of the Nation and then go on to great things. Stone Cold is on his way up here. So, yeah, all right, fair dues. It's, there's a lot going on here that will shape what will become. So you've got to look at it from that perspective, have you not?
Yeah, I mean, right now you got the glass half full with me, and with you just want to piss in that glass.
No, as I say, I look at the future of what it's going to bring, and you can't have it. But anyway, guys, let us know what you think in the comments section. Apologies we haven't been recording last week or so. I had a few issues personally, but we will always try and get the content out as much as possible because we love doing it. So we don't really.
And your watch along suggestions have been noticed. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to that. Yes, definitely.
Brilliant. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Tune in again next week. We will be back same time, same place, with another banger for you as always. But from me and from Dale, take care, and we'll see you again next time.